Okay, we're going to be looking at absolute value equations. These are the ones that have the equal sign. We've already done inequality, absolute value inequalities, but this is just a review on the absolute value equations. Okay, so you've got absolute value. This is for problems number 9 through 14. All right. When we're looking at absolute value equations, you want to be able to isolate the absolute value. So you want the absolute value, the bars, to be on the left side by themselves. The way you would do that is anything added or subtracted to the absolute value bars, you want to get rid of them. So if it's added, you do subtract. If it's subtracted, you would do add. And then whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Then, if there's anything multiplied by the absolute value, you're going to have to divide both sides by whatever is being multiplied by the absolute value. Okay, so then once you isolate it, the next thing is you're going to take the bars off, take off the bars, and you're going to write the equation down just like it is. Okay, then you're going to take the bars off, write the equation changing after the equal sign to a negative. Okay, after the equal sign, you're going to change it to a negative. Then solve each equation. All right, so here we go. Let's try that. It might sound confusing, but this is the first time that you did it. This is just a review. Okay, so we have the absolute value bars right here. Okay, they're all by themselves. So what we can do is go on down to take the bars off and write the equation. So it's t plus 5 equals 8. Then we take the bars off. T plus 5 equals the opposite of the number. So it's a negative 8. It's always going to be a negative the second time. All right, then we're going to solve. So subtract 5 from both sides here. If you want to, you can do the same step here. Or you can work them as individual, but this step will be exactly the same on both equations. Then you get t equals, this here is a 3. T equals a negative 13. So t is equal to 3 and t is equal to negative 3. All right, so let's go do it again. Absolute value bars, are they isolated? Yes, they're all by themselves on the left-hand side. So we take off the bars and write the equation straight down. 2x minus 1 equals 5. Then you take the bars off, write the absolute value down again. 2x minus 1 without the bars, what's inside the expression inside the absolute value bars, equals the opposite of 5. So it's always going to be a negative on that side. All right, then we're going to add 1. Again, you can do this one the same way. Okay, so here you get 2x equals 6 right here. Over here you get 2x equals a negative 4. Divide by 2. All of them would get divided by 2. And you get x equals 3 over here. Over here, x is equal to a negative 2. There's your answers right there. Okay, let's go to number 11. It's on the next page. Okay, number 11. This time the absolute value bars are not isolated. You've got this plus 5. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. So you get absolute value of 4 minus 2y, close your absolute values, equals 4. Okay, now the absolute value is all by itself over here on the left side, so we can remove the bars, 4 minus 2y, and set it equal to the 4, straight across, just without the bars. Then you can take it out of the bars, 4 minus 2y, equals this next time over here, make it the opposite, or a negative 4. Only thing that should be different is this over here on the right side. One time it's positive, one time it's negative. Okay, so I'm going to subtract 4 from all sides. Again, you don't have to do them together. You can work them separately if this confuses you. Then you have a negative 2y. Over here is 0. Over here, negative 2y equals negative 8. Divide everybody by negative 2. Over here, you're going to get y equals 0. Divide by negative 2 here, and you get y equals 4. So here your y is 4 and y equals 0. All right, let's look at number 12. Number 12, here's your absolute value. It is not isolated. You've got add 7, and you're also multiplying by 11. So when you're undoing equations, you always do the add or subtract first. So you got change that to plus 7. And I get 11 times the absolute value of x minus 8. Close my absolute value. Right here, you're adding it, so that's 15, that's 55. Okay, absolute value is right here. It's still not by itself, so we're going to divide by 11. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other. Okay, so now I have my absolute value of x minus 8 is equal to 5. Now the absolute value bar is all by itself over on the left side, so it's isolated. So we're going to take off the bar and write it straight across. Take off the bar and change the 5 to a negative 5. Okay, so I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I get x equals 13 over here. Add 8 to both sides. And my x is equal to a positive 3. So your answers are x equals 13 and x equals 3. Okay, let's go on to number 13. Remember, you can pause anytime. So if it seems like I'm going too fast, pause it, write it down, check out what I'm doing. Okay, this absolute value bar is not isolated. We've got a plus 5, and we also have a 2 here. So we're going to start with getting rid of the add subtract. So this time we have to subtract because that was a positive 5. So you have 2 times the absolute value of 4x minus 1. Close your absolute value. There goes the 5s. 15 minus 5 is 10. Okay, we've got to divide by 2. And you get the absolute value of 4x minus 1 is equal to 5. Now my absolute value bar is by itself. So I'm going to do 4x minus 1 equals 5. And 4x minus 1 equals a negative 5. Okay, I'm going to add 1. I'm just doing these separate. So I have 4x equals 6. Then I'm going to divide by 4. Okay, so now on this one, my x, here I'm just going to write over on the side because I kind of ran out of room. My x is equal to 6 over 4. Well, I need to reduce that. Both of them, 2 can go into both of them. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times. You want to leave your answer just like that. That's 3 over 2. It's an improper fraction, but it is reduced. Okay, so let's go over here. I'm going to do that add 1. Notice it's the same step that I did right here. I get 4x equals a negative 4. Divide by 4. And my x is equal to a negative 1. So in this problem here, x is equal to negative 1 and x is equal to positive 3/2. Okay, let's look at the last one, number 14. Okay, again, my absolute value is not isolated. We've got a plus 4, and also we have a divide by, or a multiply by negative 2. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. That's the way you want to do it. It's the opposite. So I get negative 2, absolute value of y plus 5, close my absolute value, equals a negative 14. Got to divide by a negative 2 to get that isolated. The absolute value has to be isolated. So I get absolute value of y plus 5 is equal to a 7. Okay, now this guy's isolated. So I can take off the bars, write it straight across, so it's a positive 7. Take off the bars and make it the opposite of 7, which is negative 7. Right, then I'm going to do minus 5, minus 5. If you want to, you can do straight across. Same step right there. So I get y equals 2. and y equals negative 12. Those are my two answers for that problem.